Today I'm bringing you a recipe for a classic and easy hummus. I was gonna say hummus recipe and then I realized that I already said recipe. Welcome back to Plants Not Plastic. I'm Nikita and I bring you recipes that are delicious, inexpensive, simple, and healthy. Today I'm bringing you an easy recipe for classic hummus. Before I shot this video, I did a little bit of searching online to see what else is out there, and I found that a lot of hummus recipes, even simple and classic ones, it seems like they overcomplicate it a little bit. I'm sure that those recipes turn out really great, but I wanted to provide you with something that you don't have to do a lot of prep for, you don't really have to do any cutting for, and that you can just throw into a blender and have in literally less than 5 minutes. My recipe has 2.5 times more fiber, less than half the fat, way more nutrients, and is half the cost compared to a store-bought option. I'll have some more information about the nutrition facts at the end of the video, but if you want all the details, you can go to my blog, PlantsNotPlastic.com, where I'll have a full nutrition label that links out to Chronometer. For all the ingredients that I'm gonna list, I would recommend starting with the smallest amount and then tasting it and seeing if anything needs to be added, adding a little bit more, blending it again, and then trying it until you get to something that you're happy with. To make this recipe, you will need 3 cups of cooked garbanzo beans. This is either 2 15-ounce cans or 1 cup of dry garbanzo beans cooked. And then you'll want 3/4 to a cup of the liquid, either from the cans or from the cooking water. 2 to 4 cloves of garlic, 4 tablespoons of whole sesame seeds. You can get these either raw or pre-toasted. You can either leave them raw or you can toast them yourself. To do that, you would just put them into a non-stick frying pan on medium heat for about 5 to 7 minutes, moving them constantly until they turn brown, but you don't want them to turn black because they'll be burned and they won't taste good. The juice of 1 whole lemon, or about 3 to 5 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1/4 to a full teaspoon of cumin. It's facing the wrong direction. Cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, and then if you want to have a little bit of spice, you can add up to a 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne. If you're using cans, I would recommend that you start by draining your garbanzo beans first and measuring out the liquid that's left, because there can be varying amounts in each can. Once I've done that, I'm just gonna put everything into my blender. And like I said, for the ingredients where I've given a range, you wanna start with the smaller amounts first, blend it, and then work your way up based on taste. I'm gonna start by blending it on high for 30 seconds. It needs more lemon juice. So this is a perfect example. I started with 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, but I actually think it needs more, so I'm gonna add 2 more to go up to that 5. And then I'm gonna add an 1/8 teaspoon more of cayenne because I want it to have a little kick. Oh yeah, it's way better now. And that's it, now it's ready to eat. That's a lot. Oh, it's so good. I have to try it with one of each. So this hummus obviously goes great with veggies. It also goes great on sandwiches or wraps. I'll give you a couple variations if you do want to make it a little bit more interesting or make it more to your preference. The first of which is going to be raw garlic has a lot of flavor, a lot of aroma, and it can be spicy for some people. So if you want it to be a little bit milder, not have bad garlic breath, not make people not want to be near you, then I would recommend boiling your garlic for 5 to 10 minutes. You can also roast it. I've never done that before, but you could go ahead and look up a method for how to do that. The other thing is a lot of recipes will have you skin your chickpeas before you blend them. I think that this is a lot of work and it's not really worth it for me, but if you want your hummus to be a little bit creamier, what I would recommend is actually using homemade garbanzo beans and putting a teaspoon of baking soda into the cooking water when you're cooking them. This will actually cause the skins to release from the garbanzo beans and make it a lot easier for you to skin them. It is also better to use fresh lemon if you have it. It'll just give it like a fresher, nicer flavor when it's all blended together, but just use what you have. And then the last thing that I would recommend, or then kind of the last alteration, is between raw versus toasted sesame seeds. Toasting them will give it a little bit more of that like kind of distinct flavor, but it still comes out really good with just raw sesame seeds. Oh, and then I have one more. So a lot of hummus recipes use tahini, but tahini is actually just blended sesame seeds, or it's sesame seeds and oil. So I find that since I'm throwing everything into a blender anyway, just using the whole sesame seed is still gonna get me hummus that would be literally just the same as if I was using tahini instead, and it's just one less step and a lot easier. There are also tons of alterations that you can make with this base recipe to make really any type of hummus. You can do like a roasted red pepper, sun-dried tomato, spinach, eggplant, jalapeno, like a roasted beet, or like a mix of herbs. Now that you have the base recipe, you can really play around with it to make any kind of hummus you want. So in terms of cost, I compared a homemade option to the Sabra classic hummus. Sabra's container for 10 ounces is $4.99, which is about 50 cents per ounce. The same amount of homemade hummus is $2.60 or 26 cents per ounce. In terms of the nutrition facts, per 500 calories, my recipe has over 18 grams of fiber with just over 19 grams of fat, including omega-3 and 6, as well as a bunch of other vitamins and minerals, where the store-bought option has just 7 grams of fiber with almost 36 grams of fat and very limited vitamins and minerals. For the same amount of calories, you would also get to eat 2 times more volume of the homemade hummus compared to the store-bought. So that's it for today. If you like this recipe, please do subscribe and click the bell to get notifications when I put out new content. If you try out this recipe, please let me know by commenting below. You can also subscribe to my blog at PlantsNotPlastic.com, as well as follow me on social media. All that information is detailed below in the description. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.